Peace, peace, peace. I'm gonna wait till people come in here. They cut me off. I was cooking. Woo! I was cooking. And something magically cut me off. Something magically cut me off, bro. I got the best internet in the world. There's no way I just randomly get cut off randomly like that. I was cooking. I was cooking mama's stuffing. And they yanked me out like a preemie ET. I'm just trying to be me. Yo, just I'm gonna wait till the numbers flock back in. Then I'm gonna start cooking again. I'm not gonna repeat what I was talking about last time. I think whatever I said caused them to just yank the pole on me. I'm not, you know. If you're here, we back. Can y'all hear me? Quality better? Good. Peace. Okay, I see everybody. Oh my goodness. I was cooking something nice. And they tried to just take my life, baby. It wasn't the quality, man. It was what I was saying. It was what I was saying. They they know I'm calling it out. I call it how I see it, man. I'm unbelievably honest when it comes to this, bro. You know, this rap shit is definitely different. Hip hop is in a whole. I don't even know where to go to receive it anymore. Like you got to think about the 90s, the 2000s, even the 2010s. You had a better idea of where it was. Like now it's just like you got to hope they find you somehow. You know, everybody's competing on the same channels. It's like before it was goosenecked into the radio. Then you had BT, MTV, the music channels. And that was like, and then internet, you had blogs. Blogs was everything. Those were the tastemakers. So if you could make it on Nah Right, on Smash, Two Dope Boys, all of that. If you had the links and you had the PR people, you could really fucking do something, But now it's like PR people are rolling the same dice as regular people. It's like basically the game now is social media first. Then what do you do after that? It's become social media savvy. Then what are you selling? Which for me is rap. But when I originally signed up for rap, there was no social media, and it was just the purity. I was always in it for the purity. Like I was never really a money driven person, even though I always should have been. I've never had money. But I guess my soul and my spirit knew that I could always survive without it. So I just got used to not having it, and then you just really don't develop the drive to get it, and then you have to teach yourself how to save and be better with finances, which I still don't have the experience in, so it's rap is I lost my whole energy, bro. We're gonna go through the questions. So if you had any questions for me, please re-ask them. I'm gonna go to the top. We got 68 people. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to the top. So we back. We got Spectrum, Trav, what's good? Kylon, Granix, Wu Amun, Malik, Ludum, Spectrum, Prince Michael, Ricky Whitfield, Jovan, thank you, bro. Elevation, Allah, this guy, so many names, bro. Mia, Shine, Malik R, Khalil Mixon, Temple of El, Hip Hop, Elevation Nala, Galactic Human. God damn, I can't read. I can't do this, brother. Let me just. Okay. Yes, please ask me questions. Basically, I'm saying, okay, I'm back. I dropped LSD 2020. Let's go back. Now, I'm 35 now. I don't exactly love rap culture at all. There really isn't any. It's just like now it's like, how do you get the bag? You know. And you really gotta dig deep to get that hunger. And ignorance is bliss. And when I first really got into it, it was about, yo, maybe I could get good enough that somebody would hear me and be like, yo, who's that guy? Yo, we got to get this guy, because if the world hears him, they're going to love him because he can rap well. And now it always has been. Even if I was around back then, I probably wouldn't have fit in, because I don't value getting fly. I guess I could do it. Like if I was with the right team and they're like, yo, Cam, you got to wear this Ferragamo Galucci. You got to put on these Balenciagos. You got to do all this bullshit. I would do it, especially if I was young. It's like, yo, whatever costume I got to wear, not disrespecting fashion. I love it. I understand it. You got one body, you might as well decorate it. But my whole thing is like, I'm decorating myself so you have something to look at, because when I'm looking out my eyes going about my day, I don't see that. I love the comfort, the fact that the world doesn't have to see an awkward naked body, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, fuck it, man. I gotta throw on this weird fucking thing we wear, you know what I mean? This duck bill. This is like the top jaw, the top mandible of a fucking duck. That's what a hat looks like. It's a pot. It's like Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, they used to walk, or was it Johnny Appleseed? He walked with the hat on his head, with the pot on his head, so he didn't have to carry it. It was perfect mechanism, multi fucking use tool. Now we just, these are just so people don't see that our hair is fucked up. Basically. And my default look is football helmet, fucking afro, small afro. My whole life, if you just average my life out, it's usually like a 2 to 3 inch afro, kind of like Huey Newton. Natural as fuck, just coarse, just fucking. I get up, I just make sure that it doesn't look bad. Because if you shower, you don't put no condition in it, it's like a fucking mop. It's like, all right, let me get to the shit. All right, let's see questions here. All right. Yo. We're going to do this, man. I'm not good at this. Yo, song, you say Pyramid got one eye like Fetty Wap. I did say that. Pyramid got one eye like Fetty Wap. Yo, and that's Hoop Daddy 7. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate the support. I'm not sure. I gotta look through my rhymes. Here's another thing about me that's super awkward. As soon as I get done with a song, I usually don't listen to it anymore. So like literally I have very few of my songs memorized. I do it, I get it out, I hear that it's good, and I go about my business. I don't spend enough time on my songs. So when people ask me to like repeat rhymes, I never know, dude. There's so many of them. Let me see. Pyramid got one eye like Fetty Wap. Let me see. Pyramid got one eye like Fetty Wap. This The note search in iPhone, if you have more than 3,000 notes, it's basically unusable. I don't know. If anybody can help me with that, please direct that towards Hoop Daddy 7. I appreciate you. Kim, keep it honest and keep it dope, man. Thank you. That's Chad Dickens. I appreciate you, man. That dude's a long time supporter, man. Keenan Golson, Grips, what's good? One of Grips is a fire rapper, bro. You guys gotta check him out, man. His voice, his cadence, crazy. Sir Connor. Thing is, you are so ahead of the thing. You the type people gonna have to come to 50 years from now, and people will be like, he was the greatest. I appreciate that. Prophets always hated in their own times. Place. Yeah, exactly. I believe that it's not just me. I believe that we all are ordained as human beings with this temple to use the highest level of linguistics that we can. We all have the potential and we all have the purpose of being prophetic in a certain way, at least in our group, subjectively in your surroundings. And so if you have a certain gift, not everybody's gift is words or speech. So really the job of the verbal artist or the vocal artist is to describe really, I think at the crux of it, it's agriculture, it's, food, you're describing direction so you don't get lost, whatever it may be. But I think at the highest level, this tool can be used to describe things that cannot be described. If you can use this language, the purpose of having words at your disposal is so that way you can get more and more descriptive about what you're thinking, so that way it can duplicate in the listener's minds as accurately as possible. So the more detail I add, the more accurate it'll be. But in the sense of metaphysics and being a prophet, it's like, okay, this human being maybe has experienced things that most other human beings haven't, or that maybe they do experience it, but they don't really see the big picture. So there are some humans that are born with the ability to describe that to everyone else. So they basically don't lose, they're not in the dark about it. You illuminate them so they're not in the dark. And that way everyone can elevate. But generally, that's why you pay those people. That's why you go to church. So a congregation is built of people who all study the Bible, but may not understand it that much. They have questions about this unseen God, and that person on the pulpit is supposed to be the person that can break it down for you. Of course, that's not what it is at all. It's just basically a narcissist on the stage that thinks he's better than everybody, and he's just collecting cash, tax-free cash, based on a God that no one sees and that'll kill you. How do you get into the mental? Mia Shine, what's up? Maya Shine or Mia Shine? Maya Shine, Mia Shine. You a shine, we a shine. How do you get into the mental space you get into produce these insightful, full of bars, metaphors, syllables, etc. Also, while still having it make sense. It is interesting, but it takes years and years and years and years and years of obsessive practice. And I remember David Blaine said a quote. He said, if you do something so well and you master it, it ceases to be recognizable by regular people and it starts to, look like magic. That's why if your sleight of hand is so good, the average person can't see what you're doing. So, it looks like magic. And that's when you hear these amazing rappers, that's what it is. They've been practicing this language. They've been rhyming words in their heads, and it's the same vowel sounds. So if you're constantly rhyming light or cat or dog or fog or top or hot or all of these things, eventually you're going to get so good at it. And then we're constantly practicing talking. We always want to be heard, and we want to be, experienced as truly as possible.
So the best way to do that is to be good with your words. Also, words you can manipulate people. You can get a job. You can talk your way into anything. You can get a pretty girl, whatever you want if you're good with these. So it's just obsessive practice. As far as like getting in the zone, it's fleeting. You gotta have a good routine. And so you have to design your day to allow you the time to get in that zone. So whether that's in the morning, after you work, or before you go to sleep, there has to be a time where you say, okay, this is the time for me to practice this. And then you need a series of steps to get to that place to where you could really focus on something. And like human focus is a force that's almost like water. You know how the force of water will eventually penetrate anything, no matter how solid it is. Almost like light can move fast, but sound can penetrate walls. When you focus on something so deeply, like let's say I had the task to just think about football. I get to that time in my day where I give myself the space. And then I just break it down, football. I'll think about the teams, and then I'll hear the names of the teams. And I'll start thinking about things about the teams. And then I might look up the players and say, oh, okay, the numbers, the players. Oh, Super Bowl. Why is it a Super Bowl? And then bowl is like this. And, you got Buffalo Bills, and then Buffalo is in New York, and Buffalo, then you got the Buffalo Wings, Bills. Obviously, Buffalo Bills, if you're buying the wings, they're going to bill you, and then you use Bills. And then if you're there's some guy, Buffalo, Bill, okay, this, that, and the other, net, Jets, New York, and then you start just making these connections. And if you can rhyme really well, then you'll be able to find words that rhyme with it that can still correlate. And when you're not focused on it, it's hard to fathom. But any rappers that know that if you really just sit there with it, and you give yourself that time, like it'll start to make sense, and you can bridge obscurity.
Let's see. Red Pill on next album. Shout out to Red Pill. Red Pill's always a potential on any album I do, man. One of the best humans I've met, man, for sure. Red Pill and Blue Pill are absolutely connected, extremely intelligent, extremely just witty, just clever humans, man, of course. How could I get a feature? Just hit up Instagram. DM me on Instagram at Cambatta Music if you want a feature. That's Ross Cyrus. See, horseshoes and fanny packs. How do you approach discovering the treasure of a new bar? The treasure of a new bar is a mental orgasm. That's when you stumble on a new bar, it's like, okay, first of all, let me make sure that I haven't heard this before. Sometimes you haven't heard this before. Sometimes it's so obscure because the trick is to say something that nobody said before. So to me, if you're constantly digging out the same treasure chest, you're only going to find the same kind of jewels. So typically in rap, you got NBA. Rappers are always interested in brands, so cars, watches, clothing brands. They're just, I guess, current topics. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, that kind of shit. NBA, NFL. They're into these kind of things. So if you want to discover a new bar that they're not going to say, you got to go outside the genre of typical rappers. You got to go over here and over here and over here. And then it becomes easier for you to make connections that are not heard before. You just got to go into a world that rappers don't go into. And that's all I'll say about that. But it also has to be kind of familiar to rap too. So you have the gift of the past, the present of the past. And then now you can start referencing things that your age group from back then, like if I say Rugrats or Doug Funny, or if I say anything about Terminator 2 or E.T. or Forrest Gump, you guys are going to know about it because you guys experienced that. And it's going to be like that feeling of like, oh, nostalgic, fucking electrocution. So, yeah. Thank you for that question. Social media meddling. Yeah, man. You know how it is. Can you make a song about angel and demons? If it,
I'm one of those people where if you're like, yo, can you make a song about this? I will not make a song about it, usually.
Who said that? Let me make sure I shout out everybody who asked me a question. First of all, fuck, I lost you, man. I make a song about angels and demons. That's Lucifer XOV. Yeah, man. I mean, I have mentioned them in a lot of my songs, essentially.
So I will say, because you said that, like, maybe you'll go back and you'll hear more of them, or maybe it'll inspire me to say something else. But I mean, in general, I mean, I think they're the same things. You know what I mean? It's just two different sides of the spectrum, or of the, you know, the faucet. You got hot water, you got cold water. They're both water coming out the same sink. You know, it's just impulse versus intuition. You know, angels or messengers or angles or angels, ang. You know, the what is that? The waterbender or windbender, airbender.
L God, you know, and then you got the demons, the D-man,
to demon, to demonetize, to take lower. So you got thing, and angels rise and demons lower you. So any impulse or habitual habit or any inner voice that allows you to go this way would be a demon or a demon, or a demon means it takes you from man state to animal state. I was having this thought the other day: is anything really evil? Is it evil or is it animalistic? You know, because if you study animals, animals are fucking brutal and savage as fuck. The cutest animal in the world. Take a beautiful tiger. A beautiful tiger will be grazing and see a fucking family of beautiful Bambis. Beautiful Bambis just grazing, dancing, eating, frolicking. They're babies. They have twin babies. Little Bambis hopping. That tiger will bite their fucking head off, then rape the dead body, then eat it. And God isn't looking at it like, I strike thee. It's not a sin. This is just earth. This is how animals act. And that's what men act like when they're demon, when they have demonic presence. You are more active as an animal. That's why you still have people that are demonic and animalistic and savage that are winning. You know, it's the universe only says yes. It doesn't really discern between, oh, you know what, you're a good guy, so I'm gonna spare you from getting eaten by this wolf. No, it doesn't really work like that. Sometimes you get miracles, and that's unexplained. You know, I guess it's just dice, but for the most part, the universe is just completely neutral. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you jump out your window and you're on the 30th floor, you're probably gonna die. So angels, demons, I would say humans are great at anthropomorphizing things and making things into stories. And that's how we pass knowledge, especially from the past, is you explain things that may be happening psychologically or even astrologically. And you because you got to think this is a time before rap. These are times that we know of, obviously. So if you have all the time in the world and you're looking at the same sky, why wouldn't you create clever stories to package it in a more convenient way that you can tell it to a child and an adult? And it's the same thing with the inner workings of our spirits. When we say demon or angel, we're talking about the dualistic nature of ourselves. When you're at high, the reason why we have empathy and love is, you know, so we don't kill our fucking children. It's, you have to feel some kind of connection to people, so you just don't, you know, humans have obviously an elevated version of it, and there is like love, obviously, like we kind of coagulate it into this fifth element, but really it's the human's ability to connect in all of these ways, so we don't just dominate and destroy everything in the world. We are so complex that if we had no sense of love or apathy or connection, like some humans that are mentally disturbed don't, then it would just be complete chaos. If we have minds of animals, could you imagine? It would be nonstop rape, killing, pillaging, stealing. Even a pretty a pretty fucking squirrel. You leave mama bakes a nice sweet potato pie, leaves it on her porch to cool. A squirrel will come by, eat it up, and shit in it. And squirrels aren't bad; they're not evil. So yeah, angels and demons. There you go. Can you share details on upcoming projects? So this is what people came for. I don't know if people came for. I just buzzword, buzz phrase. Yes. So shout out to Soul Messiah, Rhyme Sayers. I just dropped Soul Supreme with Soul Messiah, and that's actually going to be on his project dropping September 30th. That's the God Complex, a compilation. It's produced solely by Soul Messiah, and Soul Messiah is all of Cyrock. You know, Cyrock's one of my favorite rappers. He produces most of her stuff, like 99% of it. Forever, yes, all of those dope ass songs he produces. Plus, he's produced a whole bunch of other songs through time, dating back to the 90s. Madonna, Monica, he's produced for everybody basically. And so that's out right now through Rhyme Sayers. And me and Soul Messiah are actually working on some other stuff on the side. We can't announce anything on that right now. So look out for God Complex, September 30th. As far as exclusive projects from me, I'll be working with Brother Rich again. That's Black Magic 363. Black Magic. If you've heard Manifest Destiny, if you've heard Holy Ghost 1 or 2, you know who Black Magic is. One of the best producers in the world. We're dropping as well in September. That's September 17th. So, surprise project. As far as Cambatta exclusive projects beyond that, we have the Crux. And the Crux will be releasing at the end of the year, December. So that's all I'm going to say. We have the album I'm featured on with Soul Messiah. I'm just featured on that one song, Soul Supreme. That's coming out September 30th. Shout out to Soul Messiah. Cambatta featuring Black Magic, September 17th. As of right now, that's the tentative date we have running. Tentative meaning subject to change, if anything. But right now, September 17th, which is also Black Magic's birthday, which is the reason that day was chosen. Then we have Crux Cambatta, which I would say the Cambatta exclusive projects are like The Porch, the Smoke and Mirror series, Porch Crack Baby, The Womb, DMT. Also the Cambatta series, which I'm doing another Cambatta 2023. End of 2023, we're doing another Cambatta. So Cambatta Volume 2 next year, 2023. Cambatta. So yeah, like Smoke and Mirror series, we got DMT, we got Cambatta, LSD. Shout out to Mellow Music. Crux will be the next album that I have. That is, and then I also have other projects, many other projects. I've been working for years on a lot of unreleased projects. Shout out to everybody that's helped me. Los, Nix, Eddie Deuce, Black Magic, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Soul Messiah, Cyrock, Loaded Lux. Somebody also asked, are we working on a Manifest Destiny 2? I don't know. Maybe, possibly. There's a lot of years ahead of us. Me and Lux. Lux is a lot more healthier than me. I'm sure he'll live till he's 120. But before I go, I'll definitely would love to do that with him, even if whatever happens. Yeah, like I would say in the next 5-6 years, if it doesn't happen organically, we can somehow force it to happen monetarily. Money always talks, so I'm sure that can happen. Shout out to Domingo Padilla. We have songs in the cut. Shout out to Master Sin. We have songs in the cut. I got mad songs with mad crazy amounts of artists that I've been working on. Shout out to Killer Priest. Shout out to K Reno. Shout out to Cannabis. Shout out to Mickey Fact. Shout out to Vegas 7 Ronin. Shout out to Alo 8.
Man, so many, man. So many, man. We out here. Oh, that was Alo Nargis. Also, that Alo? Any chance we okay? I answered 2 of those questions. K Reno song. Can't wait for you. Yes.
Me and features happen slowly. It's gotta happen. Everything has to strike when the fucking moon is full and there's a fucking feather on its tip, and everything has to go right. So just be patient.
Fuck. Let's see. Of the energy, brother, do you believe? Why do you believe? What do you believe? Why do you believe? What do you believe? Shout out to Dogma Free. Why do you believe? What do you believe?
I guess the only thing I really believe is that I'm here, in a sense, like I'm me. There is a sense of like I and me, like beyond that, I don't really I guess I believe what I want to believe is true. That's all I can say. I believe what I want to believe is true. Outside of things that I'm interested in, I guess whatever is the most logical. I think I have a pretty decent logical compass. I think that's kind of the root of my natural intelligence, is just taking this and taking that and saying, wait, hold up. This doesn't really make much sense. I'm pretty well-rounded when it comes to just random subjects. I keep the mixed bag shaking, in a sense. Like I know a little bit about a lot of things. Anywhere my mind goes, I'll go down that rabbit hole as deep as I can without getting lost, as much as I can. And I'll retain it. As long as I can connect it to something, I can retain it. I don't really, I read as like, I read not that much as far as like physical books. I prefer listening, and I can extrapolate a lot from a little. You only have to say a couple things, and then I'll start making the ball. Once you get the ball over the peak, over the crux, and it starts rolling, I could get that motherfucker gone. So belief, right? On a tree of knowledge, belief. Why do you believe? Belief, faith. You believe because once the leaf leaves the branch, it flows by the will of the wind. And wherever thou it landeth is where it seeds. So the belief is that it'll even though it disconnects from its creator, it will land somewhere where it can be fruitful. So belief. That's mine. I'm not quoting nobody. I don't really quote other people, dude. I'm not like. I still want you on Dreams Forgotten. What's good, my bro? I believe. I still want you on a joint with Sadistic. Yes. I'm ready to be on the joint with Sadistic, bro. Of course. Of course. I believe that's my boy Julio. What's good, my bro? That's either Julio or Cody. I believe it's Julio in that name. If you're Julio, say yes. I'm still so far back. But yes, I would love that. I want to, like, all the best rappers, please.
Tell them, yo, Cam, hit up Cam. You know, I'm not the most social person. I'm not good at networking. Um, you know, I'm like catching a fucking firefly, bro. Like you got to catch me when I'm bright, because when I don't light, you don't see me. In the dark, I'm in the dark. I'm a firefly. That's exactly what I am. I just realized it, because you see me. I'm in the dark, so you don't see me unless I'm bright. But I'm only bright for a split second, so that's when you gotta catch me.
I don't know why I'm like that. It's not because I'm narcissistic and I think fuck the world and I'm selfish. I just, and this is what I was explaining before I got cut off before, is that I no longer feel like showing off. You know, there's this feeling you get. Like I remember I got invited to the new music seminar. This was in like 2013. And they got like my Zeitgeist Haze video and they like nominated me. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened. I forget the chain of events that led to it. But I go to New York. Shout out to Knicks. I go to New York and I get there and I was at this, I guess like an open talk. It was like a panel of PR people. Like or no, they were A&Rs. It was an A&R panel at the new music seminar. And there was a questionnaire, and there was one guy on there, Fetchter. Andrew Fetchter from Atlantic Records. Then he went to RCA Records. And he said he would, I'm into hip hop. So I was like, okay. And then it was like the owner of Tommy Boy Records there. I forgot his name. It'll come back to me. I'm extremely high and I was drinking too. So whoop, whoop, whoop. So I go up to ask a question, and instead of asking a question, I start rapping. And I start saying all these fucking crazy bars, these fucking obscure bars. And they loved it. And they were like, oh, the squeaky wheel always gets the oil. And at that moment, I felt like I wanted to be heard. Like, damn, like I want these people to hear what I got. And it worked. Like Andrew Fetchter from Atlantic Records hit me up. I gave him Smoke and Mirrors, The Porch. He played Smoke and Mirrors, The Porch. He was fucking mind blown. He invited me to fucking Atlantic Records. I go there. We have a meeting. And I remember he was like, yo, man, you're talented. Everybody loves you. The dude who signed Pete Rosenberg or whatever his name, the guy who signed Eminem, heard my shit. Everybody heard my shit and they were all like, yo, they love it. But we're looking at your Instagram and your Twitter and your subscribers. We'd love for you to be over 10,000, And I was just like, what? Like that's so fucking weird. Like what that should mean is that, okay, not that many people know about this guy, so let's get him now. But in this world, which that was 2013, imagine, they wanted to see my followers. And I remember he invited me again to RCA as an update. At that point, I was a little bit further along. And I think at that point, it was like, oh, at this point, you got to be at 100,000. It just kept going up. And every label I went to, it's like, I think I go through the door and they see what I look like. And they're like, that's not a fucking rapper. I'm like 6'3". I'm a burly guy, but I'm not necessarily intimidating. I'm a nice guy. I smile. I'm well-spoken. I'm a gentleman. I'm not flashy. I don't have the hottest shoes on. I was probably wearing some Doc Martens. I wore the same Doc Martens for like 5 years. So I was wearing the same Doc Martens, I had like 3 pairs of pants, and I could tell as soon as they see me, they're just like, hey man, what's up, man? And then now they're just going through the routine of acting like they're listening to my music. So after all of that, like, I just don't care about. So I get by myself, and that's my time to show off. When I'm by myself and I'm in the house by myself, I'm doing voices, I'm doing skits, I'm doing little dances, I'm freestyling, I'm doing monologues in my head, and I'm satisfied by that. You know what I mean? And it's scary because you don't want to be. You want to be able to share that part of you with the world. But after a while, it's like somebody who can dance, but they don't dance at parties because eventually they know everybody will be looking at them, and they want to dance for the spirit of dancing and not dance to entertain people, you know. And it's slightly aspy, bro. I'm like, Asperger. Yeah, add the fries. Asperger. Yeah, add the shake. You know, I'm late onset psychedelic induced adult autism, extreme anxiety, manic depressant. You know, every day, bro. It's a battle. Imposter syndrome? What? Try multiple breaking and entering syndrome, dude. Imposters. We're talking about full loitering, bro. Outside my shit, there's a group of alcoholics rolling dice, smoking crack. So let's go. Cambatta. Okay, hold on. Elevation Allah. What's your lineage? Are you a foundationally Black American? As far as I know, yes, I would say I'm Black. But hold on, I'll show you what my father looks like so you guys can see. So basically, I grew up with just my mom's side of the family. So the question is, what race am I essentially? So my mom is I would explain her as a Black woman. My grandma is a quarter white. So her mom, my great grandma was half white, and her mom was white. So my great grandma was white on my mom's side. So my mom is essentially 1/8 white, which would make me 1/16 white on my mom's side. So I'm primarily Black on my mom's side. But my dad is this guy right here. And I mean, you could tell by his hair. And like, obviously he has Negroid features. He has a thick nose, but his hair. There's something about like his skull features. He was adopted at birth from Canada, and they told me he was adopted by an Italian family. That's why my last name is Carbone. And I didn't grow up with him. He left me when I was like 4 or 5, so I don't know him personally. But I knew his family was a white Italian family from North Haven, Connecticut. And they were the Carbones, and they adopted him when he was very, very, very young. And they say they adopted him from Canada, from a Native American reservation called the Narragansett Tribe of Canada. So I grew up my whole life believing that I was at least, this guy is Native American. The issue with that is that if he was born in the 60s and, you know, these Americas were settled in like the 1400s, and that's when the Narragansetts, I believe they started off in like Rhode Island or something. You know, who knows what this guy's mixed with, you know? So I guess I just identify as Black. So that tells you that. But my dad, I grew up thinking that I was half Native American and half Black, or at least whatever Narragansett, half Black. So that answers that. Ra Cyrus, did you listen to Kendrick album? Yes, I listened to Kendrick album. I believe Kendrick, obviously one of the greatest rappers of all time. I mean and I mean rapping very specifically. I would say he's a great lyricist. I wouldn't say he's one of the greatest lyricists, but he's a great lyricist. It's effective. Sometimes some of the reference points are a little too personal. Like he'll talk about his little cousin Boo Boo from Crenshaw Boulevard that stole a bike on Christmas, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like maybe I got a cousin like that too. You know, He doesn't use heavy syllabic rhyme schemes. He's not really a punchy rapper. So he's not somebody that you can necessarily say is like a quotable rapper. Like he's gonna say something that's gonna shake you out your seat. But his ability to emote vocally, his flow, his music sense, his musicality, his songwriting, his hooks, his flow, his vocal approach, his vocal dynamic. He can go high, low, over here. He's a vocal gymnast. So rapping to me is the act of, lyrical rhyming. There's rapping, there's rhyming, there's lyricism, there's, performing, and then there's the whole thing. There's the artistry of adding everything together. When I think of the greatest rappers, I think of instantly Busta Rhymes is just, he's got, as far as the act of actually rapping and his voice doing things, his fucking ad libs. I mean, listen to Everything Remains Raw. Listen to Rhymes Galore, Rhymes Galore, Rhymes Galore, the Genesis. He says, I will break through with raw. Like, Live to Regret. Live to Regret. He's like, I did top it to papa you, loving it, loving you, dropping hey. Like, oh my God. But yeah, Kendrick's up there with those guys. Like how Andre, when you listen to Andre 3000, he can do whatever he wants. It's like that. Like he can do things that Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem couldn't dream of doing because there's a little bit too much emphasis on the lyricism. Like what Kendrick lacks in lyricism is because he's more into bending the sound of the phrase that he's saying and giving you the emotion. I'm about to take a beat. I'm about to make a do. Like it's about he doesn't have to be saying he could be like, I'm about to make it go, I'm about to make it flow, I'm about to make it grow, I'm about to get it go. Like it doesn't have to be the most epic thing you ever heard. It's like, he'll and he's interesting. He'll use a lot, like I've heard him do these kind of things to where he'll be like, I hate men, I hate this, I hate that, I hate you, I hate them, I hate that, I hate white, I hate red, I hate black. Or he'll be like, free niggas and free this and free that, I free this and free those and free that. Or he'll be like, it's me, you, and you, and me. It's he, she, and she, and we. It's they, it's that, it's TV. It's TV, it's DJ on TV. Like, it's about that. Like, he'll lock into a certain pocket and he'll exploit it for everything it has. And I love that. And I exemplify some of those techniques too. But I would say that I'm like 60-40, like 60, maybe even 70-30. Like a lot of the idea, I'll hear a beat and I'll get, oh my God, I'm poking out. So I'm trying to fucking hide the fact that I got a mushroom mullet under here. So I'll hear a beat. Hold on. Yo, peace. Thank you for the snap. Yo, oh my goodness. I gotta see. Hold on. I'm gonna look up to the super chat. I didn't even notice that. So, damn, what was I gonna say? Okay. Kendrick album. So this is okay. I'll hear a beat. And I'll hear certain flows on it. You know what I mean? I might hear a beat and be like, I could be like, everybody, and the whole, but then I'll hear a certain bar, or I'll hear something that outweighs it lyrically, and I'll do away with probably a better flow because I rather have the better lyrics. Where when I was younger and I had less ability to just rhyme anything infinitely, it would be more flow first. But I'm actually I'm taking my new skills and I'm going back to the old me, to where it was like, all right, how would I approach this sonically? If I hear the beat and it drops, I'm gonna be like, one, two, look at me, look at you. Who? One, two, buckle my shoe, look at her. Who? One, two. And I would stick to that. I'd be like, I gotta be like, one, two, what can I do? What can I do? Keep going, what can I go? Open the door. And it doesn't matter. the lyricism doesn't matter as much as like I try to make it as dope as possible. So yeah, the lyricism does matter, but more it used to be more the effect of how these words sound. Then it became, oh my God, I just stumbled on this metaphysical truth that I realized actually in real life. Let me say that on a track. And then it becomes like me just stylizing what I want to say musically rather than stylizing what I want to say to the music, if that makes any sense. So let's get to more of these, man. By the way, I do word. Yes. Shout out to everybody. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the super chats. Yo, Soul Messiah, thank you, brother. Soul Messiah. So that's Soul Messiah. I love you, Soul Messiah. He's actually touring the world right now with Rock. Like I said, September 30th, God Complex, CMPLX. Rhyme Sayers. Get that now. Soul Messiah, Cambatta, Soul Supreme. Right now, it's at like 25,000 views. We need it at 1 million by tomorrow. So let's get it going. Let me know how you feel about Soul Supreme. I really like those verses. The beat is beyond. I mean, he had me chopping. I mean, I felt like Savion Glover vocally. I felt like a baby. Who's the dude? He was in Waiting to Exhale. The tapping your lines like I forgot the guy's name. Gregory Hines. I'm a baby Gregory Hines, man. Gregory Hines, he had them the Googlies. He had them Spike Lee. He had them Spike Lee, Gary Pippins, man. So he could see it all, my bro. Let's go. Super chat. Travis Larson, bottom man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Travis, man. You know, thank you, brother. The love is just crazy. I'll tell you, man, it's a hard way. I think I've handicapped myself. When you spend so much time being a rapper, it makes you lazy to any physical work. Like rapping is such a leisure, other than the performance aspect of it. Rapping is such a leisure, entertaining. I mean, it's the only job in the world where you can get drunk, smoke weed, be up all night with your boys in the studio, jumping around, listening to music, and that's your job. You actually get paid to do that. And then you get paid to be on Instagram and Twitter, and then you get paid to jump on a stage and act like you're all that for a fucking hour. And it's unbelievable. I'm just like, wow, I'm lucky to be born in a time to be a part of that, you know. Because all right, let's see. I remember I used to hear like car commercials and they'd be like lessees. Was that lease? Is a lease a lessee? Let me see. Damn, I'm way behind on these questions. I'm lost, bro. Maybe I should start from the bottom up. Fuck. Okay, hold on, guys. Man, I can't really. Oh, you guys are asking so many questions, man. I don't even know where I am. Okay, would I collab with Impu? Yes, of course. That's Rod Cyrus. Okay. Shout out to the half-ass pop lock you just attempted. That's Deuce Almighty. Peace, Deuce Almighty. I'm a logo file, Cambatta, a lover of words. I'm curious what my favorite word is. Wow. My favorite word. I don't know. Maybe because it's just so simple and it means so much. I think because it's the word that is just one letter and it means it all. It's like I am like, okay, I has to be the best word because it's also a number. and it's the first number.
So yeah, I will. Okay, I will make a solid vote that I is the greatest word, and that's not narcissism, though everyone can relate to it, whether you see in letters or numbers. I is the greatest word, whether I like it or not. Will I be touring anytime soon? That's Iris and X. Um, I don't know yet. That'll probably be so. Like I said, I don't. I'm not.
My favorite thing in the world is not performing, mostly because I've never really properly prepared, to be honest. Like my anxiety is so retardedly crazy. I got to get rid of that word. It's so extreme that I like almost like unknowingly personally sabotage myself and not practice right. Like I really need some professional rehearsing. And I'm in the process of getting back in shape. So I would need time to get in shape and yes, send me questions through text. Hold on. Yeah, I need just time to kind of get in shape and get a solid set together. Right now I just have like old MP3s and like just scattered set list in my email, and it's really not professional like I would like it to be. It's literally like the way I perform now is pure backpacker, like just got off of work, like, yo, I'm gonna try this thing out again, like. And then I get on stage and, especially performing after Rock, she's like Michael Jackson, dude. Rock performs for 75 minutes nonstop, every word, moving around, left, right, up, down, boom, boom, interaction, crowd participation. With me, I'm basically like an ironic humor bad comedian that just gets on there and I'm just like, hey, so if I perform right now, I just need some time to get my shit together, really rehearse. See, I'm being honest, man. Way too honest. Yeah, I need time to rehearse and I need money. I need money, man. Like to get on the stage and do that and rehearse. You're asking me to go on stage and physically like project all these words from this fucking song. Like I need a solid fee, travel, hotel, and I need a good amount of time to tour. I need time to get physically in shape so I can endure the physical feat of it. And a lot of people will underestimate it, what this is. When I do shit like that, it's because I completely lost my thought. So, shout out to Charles Martinez, bro. That's the homie right there, man. Charles Martinez, man, has been holding me down for years, bro. We actually have a track together. That dude, man, I remember he came out to one of the shows and he handed me a Aleister Crowley book. And that's the book that I actually keep inside. It's the 777 book. And I keep that in the bathroom. So, like, when you're sitting there and you're doing your due duty, you're doing your due diligence, I'm doing something other than just staring at my phone. Like I don't really like being on the phone that much. Like it's the biggest fucking distraction. I have games, so like I'll just play a game to distract my body sometimes if I'm studying or listening to YouTube or listening to MMA news. I'll play a game or something, but I don't even know what I was saying, bro. Yeah, yo, Bada and Priest. Yes, Bada and Priest. That's happening. Shout out to Priest. I gotta realign with him. I've actually done a couple shows with Priest. Amazing shows. I think they're all 5 hours plus. So definitely go check those out. Killer Priest is one of the greatest lyricists. He's basically if I had to choose anybody to like rewrite a Bible of now that wasn't like me or like Rock, it would be Killer Priest. Would be the person that I would be like, dude, I trust you being the script of the mythos. That guy, I mean, and he has his lane too. He sits in that pocket, like where it's almost like a narrative. It's not really rapping. He's not forcefully, yo, it's last September, I was on the drive. He's not like rapping like we rap, like I rap. He's rapping like almost like a narrator of like a fucking story, the greatest story ever told. Get more healthy. We need you. Yes, Duke Nukem. That's the plan, man. Get more healthy, man. I don't know if you guys watch arm wrestling. I'm obsessed with arm wrestling. There's a guy named Dennis Saplankov, and the dude. I mean, he has a world record for the strict curl, and he's got the. I mean, when he was young, he had the strongest arms on earth. Like they called him the Iranian Hawk. I think no, not the Iranian. Maybe the Iranian Hawk. No, the Ukrainian Hawk. Iranian Hawk is Levan Sagasvili, who's like the best arm wrestler in the world now. But Dennis, he was the best, and then he got sick. But every you see him just lurking around the corner, like at every match, he's just back there. And then you see him in the gym getting right. And that's how I am, but it's not physical elements, it's mental elements. With me, it's like I said, mental health. You know, when you're a kid, you have that blanket of innocence where God or the higher power protects you from trauma. So you're able to just, still play with your friends, get out of it. And then in the 20s, like you're so distracted with your friends and hanging out and having fun and girls and partying. Then in your 30s, when it's like, okay, I got to get serious. That's when a lot of that childhood trauma comes back in them 30s. It happens in the 20s, but it happens almost subconsciously, physically. Like you're playing it out physically. You might be fighting a lot. You might be fucking a lot, partying a lot, But in the 30s is more mental. It's when, you know your body's slowing down a little bit. So, but you've obtained enough wisdom to where you can now make choices that aren't as dangerous. Like, I'm not going to do the same things I did in my 20s just because I'm uninterested and because I might die. You know what I mean? Like I was completely reckless. So, what was the question? Getting more healthy. Yeah, for me, it's all psychological. Rapping, and being so obsessed with rapping and the schedule I was on. I'm lunatic. A lunatic is somebody that's crazy because they live outside of the circadian rhythm of the sun. So a lunatic is literally somebody who is awake all night and they sleep during the day. So I'm absolutely still trying to get out of a state of years and years of absolute lunacy, and I would say the most productive way to live would be to go to bed, between the times of, 8 and 11 and waking up early in the morning, 6 a.m. and working on that sun. It's way more productive. It's more of a linear force to where that moon is so sporadic. It's so at nighttime, it's so strong because everybody else is asleep. And it can drive you basically insane during the day. Like if you're trying to interact as a regular person, you're insane. However, at night when you're by yourself, you're magic. You're magic. And that's what I got addicted to, just being on the fringe of everything. When I go out for my nightly walks, everybody's nestled cozy in their beds. And I'm like, damn, like right now I'm the most powerful person in radiance because I'm the only one with awareness. If an alien comes out the sky right now, I'm the only one to see it. So now I have a child now. I have to be more serious. I have to be more health conscious. I have to be up. I have to be there to help. I have to be aware. So I don't do psychedelics hardly ever anymore. I'm trying to cut back on the marijuana. In times like this, I have to smoke in order to keep myself going. Let's see. I got some questions here. Okay. Anton Alive says, you ever thought about going on a freestyle run? Shout out to Anton's Alive.
a freestyle run as far as like radio freestyles like I-95, Sway, or you mean like just like putting out like freestyles on like industry beats? I will say I've thought about doing both. Many times, especially when I was younger. It was much harder when you were younger because getting on shows to actually do that was hard. And then, like, my issue with doing freestyles on industry beats is that to me, that's a waste. Like, I could have did that on an original beat, and that could be a song on my album. So I'm not likely to do freestyle on anybody's beats ever. I'd much rather create a new song with these bars that I can actually benefit from. And that stands alone in time. Like, this is a Cambatta track when you're listening to it. It's not me rapping on a Lil Wayne beat. As far as radio freestyles, yes, absolutely. As far as a run, I would say no. I would say aligning a radio freestyle with every album release would be wise of me to do for sure. And you can expect another freestyle from me on one of those shows, I-95, specifically sooner than later, you know. And I mean sooner than later, meaning within, you know, the next 6 months time, there will be another sighting, another one, you know. That's another one where it's just like, you know, you're really on the spot. You know, when I did Sway, I wasn't prepared for Sway at all. That was just by the grace of God that I even got anything to come out. Like, completely nervous, completely on the spot. I wasn't there to freestyle. I was there to support a radio DJ. Eddie Deuce told Sway I was the greatest, you know, better than Eminem. And I'm just like, oh, shit. Sway called me out, you know, automatically. And I'm just like, and I'm just getting over that sickness that I had prior to that radio freestyle was worse than the viral thing that's going on now. I was completely debilitated. That was like my first day being able to walk, you know. That's why I was dressed like that. I was dressed like a, you know, a home. I look like a borderline homeless Vietnam vet when I was there. That's what I was dressed like. I literally looked like I still had shell shock. I just seen somebody's head get blown off, and I was dressed like it too. You know. Let's see. Armando Salgado. How did everything start? When did I start to wake up? So I'm gonna shout out to Armando Salgado. I'm gonna say, as far as wake up, as far as like come into, I guess, the shock of realizing what Earth is, like, oh my God, like I'm me, like I'm really on this fucking weird ass planet, and there's this sky and there's these fucking flying creatures. Like, that moment happened when I did shrooms, when I did mushrooms, 2011, right before, I think it was, I did DMT. It was all around the 2012 time. So I believe it was 2011. Shout out to Pat Murphy. I love you, bro. One of my best friends ever. I remember he gave me these shrooms, man. And, you know, I didn't really know much about it before that. Like, you know, I just started smoking weed. Maybe, you know, I was like 23, 24 when I just started smoking weed. And like, even weed bent my mind so much that that's what made me intrigued about marijuana. So yeah, it was like, you know, he was describing it as, oh, bro, like the grass glows, you feel so amazing, you feel like you can do anything, you know, you can see the walls breathe and all of this stuff. So yeah, I was intrigued. I was scared to death, but I did them. And the first time it was more like just shock of like, oh, I can finally see the clouds. And when you're on mushrooms and you see the clouds, you can see their amorphous movement. You can't see at that frequency. You can't see at that speed sober. Like, and you could also see the tree, the tree, like the real, I guess, subtle movement of leaves, and you can see them actually breathing, and you can see your pores
contracting. Like your vision is just, you can see on a different dimension. And also you can hear the dissipation of sound, and you feel like you can finally breathe, and you're just like, oh my God. You know, when I'm like that, like I wake up like I'm finally me, and I understand nature again. I can like, if I hear a cicada, I can instantly find it. Like I'll hear the and I'll instantly grab it out the tree. You know. And yeah, so that's when I first started waking up, mushrooms, and then after that it was just it flipped a switch in my head, and I've had some extreme panic attacks, extreme what people would consider bad trips. You know, I've had bad trips that I probably still haven't healed from, honestly. You know, I don't know, feeling how I feel right now, I don't know how I felt before I did shrooms. You know, so I don't really know how it felt to be me before. So I can't tell you how extreme of the impact that mushrooms had on me, my oh, not only mushrooms, but DMT as well, absolutely blew my mind apart. There is no coming back from that. I mean, even though, like, yes, physically I'm the same, like I sound the same, I think I'm the same, but no, absolutely not. Like the way that I seen humans, the way that the things that I know that I can't even explain, the things that I felt, are just it's, you know, it's absolutely, it's probably more grand than seeing an extraterrestrial on this plane is what I experienced. And I mean, it knocked me out the park. I'm probably I'm only lucky that I'm not wandering around a Central Park fucking bench right now. You know, it's not that I abuse them so much, because I'm not an abusive drug addict at all. You know, I've never tried heroin. I've only tried cocaine maybe a couple times. I'm a psychedelic guy, but I do it very ritualistically and very seldomly. At the most, at the highest I was ever doing them was like once a month. You know, now it might be once a year. Um, but every time I did it was extremely impactful, like almost to the point where maybe medically I'm not supposed to be doing them. Like maybe there's something undiagnosed going on with me, some kind of, I don't know if I'm on some kind of spectrum of schizophrenia or autism, like I mentioned before. But these are probably people that shouldn't be experimenting with LSD or mushrooms because of what it can induce and expose that lies dormant. And for me, for the most part, I'm completely functional. My mind is still fortified. I still have great memory retention. Right now, I'm babbling words because I'm hungry. I was drinking and I'm smoking, but generally, I'm pretty sharp if I get good sleep. So, but what it's done for me as far as anxiety goes, like it changed the way I interact with humans. Um, as far as like television and movies and any traditional things that I did before as like an American person, those things are completely shattered. You know, unless I'm really just in nature or on like a walk where I'm amongst trees and birds, and that's when I feel like almost balanced. Like I feel like okay, like some about the cicadas, some about that, but just in the house, just experiencing media and the politics and all the absolute garbage, I just, it makes me not want to be a part of, you know, society at all. So, and I attribute that to this awakening, you know. So it's a double-edged sword essentially. Super chat. Hold on. Well, I don't know which super chat this is. Let me see. Super chat. Would you consider doing a collab with Ransom or RJ Payne? Those two, I think, will push your pen. Those are two of my favorite rappers ever. Yes, of course. Me and RJ Payne actually talked a while back about doing it. So RJ Payne is aware of me. I'm a huge fan of RJ Payne. So it's bound to happen. As far as Ransom, absolutely. I've never had a formal discussion with RJ Payne. Super chat, that was messy. MHESSI. Thank you, bro. Yeah, as far as having a direct interaction with Ransom, it never happened a long time ago. Shout out to DJ Nice, Joseph Feliciano. I had a song with Ransom on it where I put a verse on it, and Ransom's verse was on it with another gentleman, but that was the only time. That was like, if you could find that song, I think I have it somewhere. It's a song with me and Ransom on it, but that I was like literally maybe 19 years old, you know. So let me see. Osiris, how do you lock in for an album? Pure isolation. Plenty of bud, plenty of water, caffeine, long nights, sleeping in. You know, prepare. You got to prepare everyone around you, your woman, your family, your friends. Let everyone know that you're in album mode. That's something I fail to do a lot of times. So people hit me up, and it's hard for me to respond a lot of times. They don't know necessarily that I'm in writing mode. And when I'm in writing mode, I'm very non-responsive and very, very hard to talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to waste a breath. And it's horrible to be like that because it makes me feel like I'm unempathetic and I'm selfish. But really, like, that's what it takes for you to do something, you know, grand, like for you to really lock in and come out with something worthwhile. You need time. We're in these times where this device allows everyone access to you at all time, where you have access to everyone at all time, where we're constantly locked in. We don't go a second without being able to communicate with people. But the greatest works were all done with people who've had a long time to themselves. You need a long time. And the problem with that is that you also need a way to support yourself while you're doing it. That's the balance, is that you need time and you need free time, meaning that you can afford to not work, afford to not do any of these things. I always applaud the people who can hold down 9-to-5 jobs and still rap. My first couple projects, Visionary 1 and Visionary 2, were done and funded by me working a job. You know, I had a different level of love for rap and a different level of, just ambition. And my projects were far in between, like they are now. I like to separate them. I don't like to be too back to back because then the art gets just saturated. But locking in for that session, like, it's a system. I mean, if you can't lock in all at once, you just need to designate yourself that time and go slow, like one song at a time. Just if you got an hour a night, that's what you use, you know. And for me, I'm all over the place, man. I'm not organized or disciplined at all. Not organized, not disciplined, lazy, all of that stuff. But when I'm passionate and I'm ambitious about a project, my laser focus is a deadly weapon. You know what I mean? It's my superpower, is my ability to lock in. Like, when I lock into something, it's impossible to break that shield. You know what I mean? There could be a storm going on outside. I'm still in my zone. Like, how do I get there? That's how you do it. We're going to get to more questions. So who, Tira, have you ever thought about working with A.A. Rashid? Haha. To who, Tara? Have I ever thought about working with A.A. Rashid? Let me tell you something about A.A. Rashid. A.A. Rashid is, if I would have never connected with A.A. Rashid, I would have never got the knowledge that I got. Like, literally, like, that guy is not only is he a genius, but he's like a spiritual, like, connector. You know what I mean? Like, he's connected to me, Stove God Cooks, Joyner Lucas, West Side Gun, Red Pill, Blue Pill, everybody. Like, that dude, like, so basically, when I was in Florida, and I was rapping in Florida, I actually met a producer by the name of Kepera. That's how I got the beat for God on Crack. He was, at that time, he was the guy who gave the beat to Joyner Lucas for his first track, the one where he the one where the kid got shot, and the Ross Cappuccioni joint. Same guy connected that. That's the guy that was learned the Kabbalah in Hebrew from A.A. Rashid. And he got me on the phone with A.A. Rashid. And I connected with A.A. Rashid. A.A. Rashid is the one who gave me the mask. So the mask that you see in all my videos, the mask that you see as the logo in on my Instagram came from A.A. Rashid, the Kabbalah god. That's how I got into the Cambatta. On the two voices that you hear on Cambatta are A.A. Rashid. He's at the intro of all the West Side Gun intros. So working with A.A. Rashid, like, he's the one who connected me to basically the red pill, blue pill, and Brother Rich. Like that, he was my way in. So yes, let me see. Melodic Mystic. Another Brother Rich collab coming soon, right? Yes, September 17th. Look out for that. We already got a couple sprinkles out there. Urumishi Fungi. What do you got? Cambatta Diaz. Okay, Cambatta Diaz. We got an MMA fan. I mean, that's Cambatta, of course. Diaz, I love Diaz. He's got a great I've been watching UFC since like maybe 2007 religiously, but I used to get the rentals when I was a kid of like the first UFCs when it was less rules and no weight classes, no time limit. The Mark Coleman era, like the Royce Gracie era. Then I started watching it again in when Kimbo first came back to the internet. He did a fight with like Titan FC or something versus Tank Abbott. And I remember seeing Anderson Silva on the screen. This is like 2007. And I was just like, oh my God. He was fighting like, I forgot who he was watching, but fighting like Thiago Alves maybe. So fast forward, I'm a huge fan of UFC. I know everything about it. I could be literally an analyst. Obviously, Khamzat will probably manhandle and destroy Diaz. He hasn't won a fight in fucking years, basically. He's entertaining. I love his CTE random Aspie babble. I watch him fucking mumble words all day. Like, it's the funniest shit ever, basically. His interviews, classic, but Khamzat's going to destroy him. Jovan Ducksworth. What makes medical terminology so hard? So medical terminology the thing about medical terminology that makes it so cool is just as the chemistry of the compound has many constituent parts, so does the name. So if you have oxybenzyl prepylphene, the oxy is referring to something, the prepyl, the oxyprepylphene, every actual part is alluding to a different ingredient in the compound. So when it comes to medical terminology, it's highly complex. I believe purposely so. I mean, maybe not completely insidiously, like, let's make this hard just so regular people can understand it. I believe that it is scientific. It could be that. It could be like, this is a hidden script. So that way nobody really knows, and you have to have a specialized knowledge, or you have to have a certain amount of schooling to even be able to delve in it. Because other words, anybody will be able to practice, diagnosis and prescription writing, whatever you call it. But no, medical language is absolutely insane. I mean, it's so complex that unless it's a drug everyone knows, like lysergic dithylamine acid, lysergic or dimethyltryptamine, or tetrahydrocannabinol. We can all relate to these because these are all drugs that we have heard of. And these are their pure scientific names, because on top of that you have so it's almost a triple layered word, because cannabis is tetrahydrocannabinol, and it's cannabis, and it's weed. You know what I mean? So it almost has two technical names. It has a colloquialism for its technical word that has a colloquialism for the colloquialism. So medical language, just like law language, is seemingly designed to be a little bit too far-fetched for a layman to really truly understand. So I don't, as far as like, unless it's a drug that I don't know much about the medical language. Joe Gamble, I've been trying to send you beats for a minute, Cam, about how can I send music to you? So I'm real slow listening to beats. I have so many beats, but please send them through anyway. Just send them to Team Cambatta. And just write beats for Cambatta. And usually like once or twice a month, I'll go through the beats. And if there's something that really sticks out for me, I'll definitely hit it up. But just go to teamcambata@gmail.com. Magneto Power. What kind of games do I play on my phone? Passive, stupid games, man. Like the worst game. I don't even want to say. Like just like I don't even know, man. Like Mafia, Tap Mafia, to where you just tap and it collects money. Anything where I could just tap it and I see money pop up. R. Cyrus, what do you do to be inspired? Do I watch movies, be in nature? Movies, everything. I do everything to be inspired. Everything has something I can extrapolate from. Being in the car, seeing the signs, seeing the license plates, hearing something in a song, seeing a bird, seeing a roadkill, get to the store, seeing these weird things, seeing a certain person with the shopping cart, like a person that's built bad, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're built like a certain, maybe this guy's face looks like this, or not so mean, maybe, oh, there's a child tap dancing, and it's nice. Everything, man. Fucking movies, yes. If somebody says a dope phrase or a dope like conundrum or a pun, like I'll listen to, I'll be like, oh, that's clever. I wish I could do something. And then I'll be able to try to do my own with the same mechanics. So there's a lot to it. Horseshoes and fanny packs. What is your favorite song in terms of bars that you've made? My favorite song that I personally made, maybe Grand Number Theorem. I love Grand Number Theorem, man. Like the beat, the flow, the bars. When I'm listening to it in a completely sober mind, when I don't listen to myself in a while, I'm just completely mind blown by Grand Number Theorem. Also, I love Nigger Tesla. It's just so hypnotic. It's just so like, it's like ASMR. Like I'm just hearing this. I love Nigger Tesla. I love Nigger Christ, obviously. God on Crack is like just, whew, I love God on Crack. It's my favorite song to perform too. Yahweh Shai, yeah. Yahweh Shai is crazy. I love that. There's a couple. There's a couple in there that I like, man. I always think about like what would be the first song that I would play for Lupe, or the first song that I play for this person, or Grand Number Theorem. I think it puts me in a. It's so I love it. It's hilarious. Like really, I think the root of my style is comedy. I love things that are just so stupid and so random, but yet so like, oh, you know what? You're kind of right though. It is like that. That's funny and weird, but it's right. That's my greatest. That's my greatest motivation, is to say something that makes you say, "What the fuck? Oh, what? Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's funny, but that is true. I have noticed that, but I wouldn't say that. But you said that, and I want to say that, and I would say that, but you did it first." That's kind of like what it means, So, yeah, back to the chat. Back to the chat. That's where I'm at. Hey. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody. King Nate, what's my secret to being so knowledgeable? Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. In my mind, I'm not that knowledgeable in comparisons to the people that I consider knowledgeable. I really look up to people like Terrence McKenna. His fluidity with his speech is just baffling. Terrence McKenna.
So the cryptic etymological language of the eschatological, the quintessential quintessence at the end of time, folks. Here we're looking at an internal psychological cataclysmic desperate plea to explain ourselves to the universe. You know, it's like, oh, I'm just like, this motherfucker's stringing.
Like all that bullshit I said, it would make sense if it was Terrence. But I would say the way to get like that is to be, first of all, you have to have some, I would say, grasp of logic or pattern recognition as just a tool to go into research. So you have to have the ability to just discern bullshit from things that make sense. Because if you just are completely open minded in your research, you're just going to be prone to take in anything. And really, in anything that you hear from another man's mouth, it's going to be tainted. So you have to only extrapolate the meat of it, like pause. You only extrapolate the things that really grab you, that really that the I would say the crux of it, the most meaningful parts of it. You take that and then you kind of start to connect that to whatever your universal goal is. Like to me, like when I go into research, my goal is to hear something that explains why we're here on Earth and origin. I want to hear the craziest true happening on the planet. I want to know what's happening scientifically. I want to really know what's going on up there and here. So I go in with that. And then you just have to diversify. A lot of the times we get used to only viewing and taking in what we know and what we're used to. Which, let's say you're somebody that loves basketball, you like fashion, you like hip hop, you like Marvel movies. When you go on your YouTube, that's all you're going to see. So, in order to diversify, you have to be able to get outside your box. So, if you hear something interesting about cars, start researching cars. Who's the greatest car racer ever? What is the best car ever? Go to the top of every. So, if you want to learn a little bit about a lot, you don't start at the bottom of any topic. You go to the top of the topic. So when I was interested in arm wrestling, and obviously I haven't been watching it for my whole life, but how I went into it is I said, who's the greatest arm wrestler? John Brzezinski. And I would say, okay, who's the top 10 arm wrestlers? And I'll look up the top 10 and I'll research only the top 10 arm wrestlers. And from that, I get the knowledge on all the best matches and all the best, and I can get done with that in a couple of weeks. I'm looking up John Brzezinski. I'm looking up what's his name? Pull Car. I'm looking up Todd Michaels. I'm looking up Todzilla. This is arm wrestling I'm talking about. I'm looking up the COC, the king of Crush, the KOC Crush grips. Who could close the number 4? You feel me? The grip strength. You know what I mean? The Thomas barbell hold. You know what I mean? Like, so now I know all of that because I only looked up the greatest part of it. If I'm going to look up, let's say, mountain climbing, I just got into looking up mountain climbing because I was interested in finger strength. Like, how did these guys get such strong fingers and strong hands? Like, so I looked up, you got to look up Adam Andra. Look up Adam Andra. Okay, look up Alex Honnold, obviously free solo guy. Look up Alex Andra. I mean, this guy, unbelievable. Then you look up Alex Mensa. There's a couple more. And then I was like surfing, the big kahuna. Who's the big kahuna? What is that? That's the greatest surfer of all time. He's like this little Hawaiian dude. They called him the fucking Big Kahuna. You know, just look up the greatest of all time in every subject. And you'll start to, I'm giving you guys the, please, you know, as Umar said, donate to the fucking Cash App. No, I put the wrong Cash App. That's not my Cash App. Oh, everybody refund your Cash App. That's not my Cash App. Oh, no. Hold on. That's not my Cash App. Damn. If you say anything to that Cash App, refund it. Refund it. Because, oh, my God, I'm fucking. If you say anything to that Cash App, please refund it to yourself. Godly. Because that is not me. That was not me. I'm Cameron Carbone. There I am. Cash App. Maybe it didn't go through. I'm hoping that if you did send anything to that Cash App, it did not go through. But please send to this Cash App. Here we go. Replace pin message. There it is. That's the Cash App that you send it to, not Cambatta Music. Oh, damn, dude. Okay, what was I saying? Are you gonna make another Zeitgeist Haze? Yes, someday. But Zeitgeist only had 3 parts, so I made 3 Zeitgeist Hazes, and the Zeitgeist movie series, directed and created by Peter Joseph, is he only made 3. So I actually just me and my woman, we just me and my wife, we just watched Zeitgeist 1 the other day. And I'm about to watch Zeitgeist 2 and Zeitgeist 3 soon. Let's see. What else am I saying? Who's my dream collab?
Oh, my dream collab.
Let me say who said that. So the last message was Ludum the Iron Sheik. That's who said, "Are you gonna make another Zeitgeist Haze?" Shout out to Ludum Zeitgeist Haze. I will make another Zeitgeist Haze if Peter Joseph makes another Zeitgeist. Dubs the Realist. Who's your dream collab? I have a few dream collabs on different sides of the spectrum. So on rap, I would say Eminem, Lupe Fiasco. Obviously, like a Kendrick would just be fucking magic. Like, yeah, definitely RJ Payne, K Reno,
The usual suspects, you know.
On the R&B side, Bilal, Erykah Badu, D'Angelo. I love Gwen Bunn's music. I love Iman Omari's music as far as like people just coming out now. Yeah. Dion DCB. Would you ever go on Conspiracy Social Club or do an interview with Santos Bonacci? Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I love Santos material. I haven't seen Conspiracy Social Club, but I believe I've seen somebody with a thing on the back of their car that says Conspiracy Social Club driving down the street. So that's weird. Maybe that's you. I don't know. But that would be awesome. And I would be completely into it. I love the flat earth debate. I love breaking down words, everything. Hold on. I need some of this, man. Our serious last track on LSD. How did I create that? So magical. Wings of Icarus. So just like previously mentioned, I love soul music. I love R&B. It's basically all I listen to. 90s soul, neo soul. Love 70s music. I love, Frankie Beverly, The Whispers, Leon Ware. I listened to who was that? Leroy Hudson. Listening to him today. I listened to the greatest singers of all time. I was listening to New Birth. Listen to the New Birth. New Birth. It's a group. They made that song. Impossible. Oh, it's impossible.
I don't know if they made that, but the way they sung it was just. Whew. Also, Wildflower. They have a song called Wildflower by New Birth. Listen to that. Vocals crazy. Isley Brothers.
I was listening to some R. Kelly. I can separate the sick man from that fucking incredible music he was making. I was listening to a song, R. Kelly Exit. Listen to that song. I mean, the way that he was flowing. I mean, ridiculous. It's you can't duplicate that. It's I love to like act like I know how to sing. So when it goes into writing a song like Wings of Icarus, when I hear beats that have melody to it, my first inclination is to come up with something that's melodic. And I get into another bag when I do that. Like it's the best. It's almost better than the feeling of rapping. It's coming up with a dope melody, I guess like even when I'm on a song, and I hear a lot of rappers do this, we purposely undersing because it's almost embarrassing to sing full voice unless you can really sing good because you don't want to sound like shit. So like I need vocal lessons to be able to, I guess, really figure out where my voice can go and what it actually is. But I would say like mostly rappers purposely undersing. Like, so on that was like my interpretation of me doing like a singing song, like something that I would love to listen to. I don't always want to listen to rap. Rap is maybe like 5 to 10% of my musical input because it's aggressive. It's a little clanky. Rapping is rigid. And there's something about the feeling I get when I'm listening to, if I'm listening to the Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind and Fire, it's just a different feeling, Listen to The Whispers, Olivia. Listen to that song, What's my other favorite? Oh my God. Listen to Rick James, Lady of the Island Lady. Island Lady. Oh my God. Woo.
I wish I could sing it right now. It's like, how does it go? Lady of the Island. I can't sing it right now. I can't think of it.
No, you want to listen to a dope song? Jones Girls, Nights in Egypt. Yes. Nights over Egypt. Nights over Egypt. The best song. I mean, when I listen to Jones Girls, Nights Over Egypt, I don't think I know how to make music. Like, I don't feel like I'm a musician or an artist. I just feel like a child. I feel like I want to dance. I'm smiling. I'm filled with joy. Like, there is no sense of me. When I'm listening to rap, it's almost like, yo, I can hear the mechanics. I'm listening to it too technically to enjoy it. Unless it's something that I listened to when I was a kid. Like I listened to Ready to Die or listen to Big L. I feel that nostalgic feeling like I could repeat the lyrics. Yo, I'm about to spend my chips. I plan to get rich. I'm from New York, but never was a fan of the Knicks. And I'm all about expanding my chips. You mad because I was in the van with your bitch with both hands on the tits? Like shit like that. Like shit when I was a kid, when I was a real fan of rap and I couldn't rap. That's what I'll listen to and feel good. But now when I listen to new rap, it's more like, okay, let me see what's out there. Like, and then I go back to listening to, We Are One by Maze. We Are One. And where I could really just be like, That's what I'm looking for. And that makes me just feel really good. But I would say like rap is how I express myself. it's not what I listen to, it's how I express myself. You know?
Yeah, let me see what else is going on here. Hold on, live chat. Yeah, so yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got what 145. I put the new
Cash App up. If you sent it to the last Cash App, resend it to yourself. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. That's the Cash App you send it to. If you sent it to the other Cash App, the pin message at the top. Other one is no go.
Let's see, man. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, some of y'all see Andrew Dean, you know about it. Bada, do you like Led Zeppelin, JR, Black Sabbath?
I like Led Zeppelin. Though, I mean, I forget the name of the lead singer, but I mean, god damn, the vocals. Those 70s rock groups were unbelievable, man. I mean, the poetic lyricism was just so obscure but genius. And the vocals, man, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, basically anybody that was around back then. I was listening to King's forgot their name, King's Dominion or something. There's so many groups from around that time. The Doobie Brothers, I love the Doobie Brothers. Michael McDonald, you know, his fucking vocals are crazy.
Yeah, I can't. Papers. Yeah, I got papers, bro. Maybe this isn't paper.
Daylight Cam. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Daylight Cam. That's definitely. You know, me and Daylight, we've been kind of going back and forth very sparsely, but over time, and it just hasn't. I mean, the stars have to align, but it will happen. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't force anything. You know what I mean? I actually did a song with Joyner Lucas in 2016 that's still never been released because obviously now he's, you know, he goes to Will Smith's house. He did songs with Eminem. So getting clearance for something like that would just be probably unfeasible, you know, but not unfeasible. I'll never say anything's unfeasible. But you guys will hear that regardless, whether I just put it out as a free download or something like that, or put it on as a bonus cut. You guys will eventually hear that. But you will definitely hear Daylight and Cam. You know, Hall and Oates. Yeah, I love Hall and Oates. Definitely, of course. That's you know. Ain't nothing that no can do. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. And then DV Alias. I can't go for that. No, no can do. I can't go for that. You know what I mean?
Average White Band, of course. They just came to Hartford. I missed them in Hartford. Yeah, Daylight's hilarious. Yeah, of course. That's Christ. That's Christ bearer, the bright ruler. You know, the mind tool, the snipe shooter. Let's see, Joanne. What's good, Magneto? Everybody, hey. Let me see.
Yeah, I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer, man. Ask me more questions. You know what I mean? Also do some cat treatments for depression and anxiety.
I don't know about that.
Unless it's like administered by a doctor, like somebody that's like chemically got it down to a drip drop. then I'll do something like that. But right now, just having a kid, I'll keep it to bud and trusted mushrooms that I know the source from. Even LSD, like LSD is not the same as it used to be, man. Like neither is DMT. Like whoever's it's hard to find really good chemists that make real pure shit. So I don't deal with anything too experimental anymore.
And who said that? That was TB. Shout out to TB. Mario. Bada, how often do I use psychedelics?
I'll put it this way. I mean, I microdosed some LSD not too long ago. I knew the source. I microdosed it and it was too strong. It was too. I took a little snip of that shit and it just. I couldn't sleep. I mean, I listened to the Law of One. I took a microdose, which was not it was like a full dose, and I listened to the Law of One book about when they interviewed the alien named Ra, the entity through the medium, and he talked about the building of the pyramids. If you haven't heard it, they have the audio book on YouTube. And to me, one of the best uses of psychedelics is to do a psychedelic and then listen to a really good audiobook as you just lay there. Because to me, with like psychedelics, especially like mushrooms, the first before you go through, so mushrooms takes a little longer to come in. Like at first it might be nausea or just kind of physical irritability and you just don't really feel settled. Then it's anxiety, you know what I mean? And a lot of times it's good to just lay down either in your room, in a dark room, or if you're outside in the grass, in the sand, and just close your eyes. And sometimes if my thoughts are a little too, sometimes my thoughts are not, as constructive as I would like them to be, I'll just turn on a really good audio book. And if you're listening to an audio book while you're kind of coming on to the mushrooms in that real awkward phase, it'll really help you. And I listened to the Law of One, and that really helped me. And then all of a sudden, you feel powerful, and then you get up, and then I go on my walk around the neighborhood. I'll go look at the trees. I'll go look at the sky, and I'll feel good again. If it's at nighttime, I get real introspective. You go for a nighttime walk, everything is amazing. Everything is the simplest night. It could just be like a normal Wednesday night in your neighborhood. And if you're on some psychedelics, man, it turns into fucking. You remember that movie? What was it called? It was with Howie Mandel, and he was a monster under the bed. Was it Little Monsters? Little Monsters. So remember Little Monsters with Fred Savage, and Howie Mandel, and he was the cool fucking monster ghoul with the earrings and the fucking jean suit. And he was a monster under the bed. But when Fred Savage went under that bed, it was a magical dream world. It was like, and that's where you see the big back, spined fucking big mama dude, you know? Who's seen that? Yo, if you know what I'm talking about, you're the greatest. Little Monsters with Howie Mandel with the monster, and then they turn on the lights and he turns into a pile of clothes. Let's talk referenceability. That's what we need to talk about here, folks. Seen every movie. Let's talk movie. I've seen, if it's a good, let's talk about how bad modern movies are. Terrible. All of them are virtual signaling. They're switching females with all the main male roles. I just read today that GTA 6, the main character will be a Latina female, and they're editing out all the bad, the bad words, and they're making it clean. Look up GTA 6. Look what they're doing. It's because they have to follow like these rules of inclusion. Everything has to have these inclusion rules. So you notice in all the movies, everything's, LGBT plus, everything is a black woman's gonna play every fame. You know, the next in Mission Impossible is gonna be a a black woman or something like that, and that's cool. It's awesome. Like, hey, black fist in the air, but come on, we don't. We're on the trajectory that the next Forrest Gump 2 will be a fat black guy. The next Forrest Gump 2 will be a fat black guy. That's what we're getting to in movies and cinema. So when I usually reference the good movies in the past before everything was CGI, because now it's basically a cartoon that has an occasional human in it. If you see these new Marvel movies, they're absolute trash. It's just a whole bunch of green screen CGI, amazing CGI. You know, great. You got a room of 50 nerds that, blah, 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 blah. That's what movies are. And then you got voiceovers. Oh, no. Yeah. Here you go. Take that. And it's just them interacting. It's fake. It's not like if you watch movies of the past, go watch Terminator 2. Go watch the final fight scene between the T-100 and the T-1000. That final fight scene where the T-1000 is ramming that battering ram into Arnold's head and his skull is falling off. And then he jumps down and he puts the stake through his heart and he's like, and his eyes like that. And then you see the woman. So that's like Sarah Connor is the perfect female because she came back, she avenged him, shot her, blah, 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 blah. And you're not like, oh, they just put the female in there because it's the feminist role. No, it was dope. So this is what's happening in rap too. It's just getting microwavable. It's so easy. It's so, anybody can get a mic, you know what I mean? Get a computer, rap, everything's, you don't have to really do the work anymore, man. And, I don't even know how I got to that, but gee. Let's see where we at. Fight scene, Brad Pitt, the Mexican, Exoteric, new book. Rick Strassman. I never read Rick Strassman, but I've seen all his interviews and stuff. I'm a guy. I'll watch the lecture. I'll listen to the audio book, the physical book. I'll skim through. I'm a skimmer. You know what I mean? And they used to call me, Skimmy McGuire. Justin Skimberlake. That's who I was. Skimberlin and Magoo. So I don't really sit down. I wish, but I've never been able to do that. It comes from like years, as a kid, I would bullshit. I would skim through the book, go to the end, figure out who the main characters are, go to the plot twist and just fill in the blanks because all stories were the same. It's like, okay, protagonist, antagonist. There's a girl he likes, obviously. He's going to go through some struggle. At the end, he realizes who his real friends are, and he realizes that the power was in him the whole time. Every book report ever. Hey. What kind of books interest me? Books that are straight to the point and don't have much personality to them. Like the best book ever is Tao Te Ching. It can start there and end there. That's all you need. Just listen to the Tao Te Ching audiobook, and it explains everything by explaining everything that isn't, that explains nothing by explaining all, by just explaining around it without saying it. It's this because it's that. It's that because it's this. That's what I like, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is whatever they say about him, kitty fiddler, racist, whatever. The books were incredible, though. It was rhyming, and he had multisyllabics, too. The Cat in the Hat, he sat on a map. Syllabics, bars. You see the whole story right there. The Cat in the Hat sat on the mat like, oh, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Let's say my first Symphony Dench. My first time listening to you two bases was definitely comedic. You're brilliantly hilarious, transparent, appreciating it.
Thank you. Thank you. Compliments are just like pouring from the skies, and I try my best to absorb them and receive them, and I guess give you back the worthy amount of thank you and appreciation. Because really, once this live goes off and I go back to being me, and I get in that bag again, I gotta really hold on. Once I get in that bag again, you gotta begin from the beginning. You gotta start from the bottom again. Every time you gotta start from the bottom. You can't start from the top. Every time I listen to a beat and I have to start a new album, I have to do this again. Imagine figuring out how to build a time machine, and then the next year you gotta figure out somehow to top that. I gotta do grand number theorem 2 now. I gotta do Cambatta 2 now. So those compliments, the donations, that all of that stuff definitely helps, because it reminds me of what I'm capable of. I'm not somebody who's naturally arrogant. Like, I believe the more you, like they say, ignorance is bliss. The more you know, you don't know. And then you think you're smart, and then you get around people who are very smart. You think you're intelligent, because being smart is more so what you do with your intelligence. And your intelligence is what you do with your knowledge. You know what I mean? It's like, where is your intellect? Where is your ability to problem solve? You know what I mean? And I have great intellect. I'm not always the smartest person. You know what I mean? I have great knowledge, but my application is my music, which has an effect on my fans emotionally, mentally. But when I go outside, it doesn't help me survive. I haven't developed a skill that has any actual real world value other than entertaining and teaching. So I have to be wary of that. And knowing that, it humbles me, because it doesn't matter how good I can rap. If something happens to where all the electricity goes out, and there's somebody who's good at construction, and there's somebody who's good at bushcraft, and they're great survivalists, they're going to be the dominant ones. If somebody's a great martial artist, and you're outside and you have to fight for your life, it doesn't matter how good you can rap. You know what I mean? When you gotta pay your bills, if your rapping pays your bills, then it's good. But other than that, it's like, hearing those compliments, it just lets me know, wait, maybe I am on to something here, because when I'm in my zone, I'm not thinking about people. I'm not thinking about being famous or any of that. Like, I think about like, wow, like, when I hear this beat, what would I want this to be? What would I want this to sound like? Oh my God, imagine if I said that. I think I go through a process of saying, imagine if I did this. I'll listen to a beat and be like, yo, imagine if I did this. And then you realize that I'm imagining the craziest shit. Now all I got to do is do it. And it's that simple. Like, okay, imagine what the craziest shit would sound like on this. Then do it. That's it. And you get better at that over time. But you have to I guess you have to have some kind of round knowledge of the different dynamics of music, different flows you could use, different cadences, different vocal tones, different ways to jump on a beat, different ways you could, like, I remember my favorite was MATHOD, man. Like, the way he came in. Busta Rhymes was like, I can walk through brick walls. He did something like that, and I was like, I can walk through brick walls. And I was like, the way he was like, there's a song with Bilal. It's what is it? Woman, black woman, some woman. I forgot the song. He, on the second verse, he didn't start singing until like maybe 13 bars in. He started on like the most unorthodox place you could start a song. And he started with a run. He just came in like in the middle of a run, but on like the 13th bar. And D'Angelo did something similar to this on his Black Messiah album, where it was the Lord's Prayer song, where he said the Lord's Prayer, but he purposely distorted it, and it was coming out. It would be like, it was like just so like, you know. That's, I don't know where I was going with that, but hey, yo, horseshoes and fanny pack. Yo, I'm gonna sleep home. Yo, thank you for coming out, yo. Yeah, man. Thank you for experiencing everything. Yo, Lord Apotheosis. We got a joint. I'm on his album. Look him up. Lord Apotheosis. Lord Lordapotheosis. We got a dope song. That brother's also a martial artist. So he knows everything I'm talking about, because rapping is almost exactly to martial arts. And yeah. Artist Andrew Dean, you are, of all artists out there, should be a multi-millionaire from your music line, man. I appreciate that, man. I wish, man. I hope, man. I still keep hope alive. I still keep faith alive, man. I think that everything is synonymous with your character and your personality. It's very hard to get somebody who's like this and still get somebody who's like this. So the rap artists that you see who are massively famous and massively rich, essentially that was their goal. Yo, when they seen themselves as kids, they seen themselves on the stage with millions of fans, with all the girls, chains, popping bottles, and they got it. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't necessarily see myself anywhere. I felt myself. I felt when I was a kid and I imagined myself as a rapper in the future. It was the feeling of people saying that I'm one of the best ever. Like it was almost like, yo, I just want to be the best. I just want to be a master of this rapping shit. Like, you know, it wasn't tied to any physical thing. It was like just the feeling of knowing, like having that confidence. I've never been a highly confident person. I was always tall. I was always decent looking. I was always funny. I could get friends. But for whatever reason, maybe because I didn't have a father figure or whatever, I didn't really know myself or know really how I should be. Like, you know, I grew up in the church around my Grammys. So I knew how to be a gentleman, how to conduct myself respectively. I didn't really think about life as going out there and be a monster. You know, I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut. So to be the best rapper in my school wasn't really like, it wasn't like I grew up in Brooklyn and I went to school with Fabulous over here in this classroom. And, you know, Joe Budden was down the hall and every day I got to battle them. It wasn't like that. Like I had to imagine myself, yo, if I was in 106 in Park, I'd do this. And everybody would be like, whoa. And what would I have to say to do that? That's what it was. So now as an adult, I have to kind of reimagine everything and see myself with wealth just because I want to create a life for my family, create some kind of legacy. It sucks being broke. You know, I got used to always being the friend that never had the money. You know, if we go out, I'm always like, nah, I'm good. And everybody's like, yo, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm like, nah, man. Inside, I'm like, maybe I'll keep saying no, but maybe they'll still give it to me, you know. And you get used to that. And I know there's probably a lot of people watching that know exactly what I'm saying. It's embarrassing to talk about that, but you get good at being broke. You can survive never making any money, never using credit cards, never having a bank account. You could survive, you know, never having an apartment in your name, never having a car, you know, here to there, here to there, here to there, here to there, because survival is not to the civilization we're in now, to the society we're in now. It's not on the top of the. As much as they say it is, it's way too easy. If you watch any survival shows, I'm obsessed with watching like Survivor, man. What it takes to get through a day if you're just in the forest with just to make a fire might take you 2 hours. From that point, you're looking for shelter and food. Every morning you wake up, you're fishing, you're looking for grubs, you're looking for more ways to fortify your shelter, you're looking for fire, you're looking at, firewood. You're building up from that. And then, if you got a family, you got to be working massively hard. And then you got to have enough kids, and then you got to teach them to do it. There's no time for art. That would be the religion. The religion is you interacting with your nature. It doesn't take any extra thought. It's you are in it. You know what I mean? Now we're not like that. Now we're not like that. And I've always known that. I was always intelligent to know that. What the fuck is going on? Why does anybody have any ambition to buy a Ferrari when you could just buy a Honda? And the act of driving is we're all at the same speed limit. So if we all got to go 55 miles per hour, what difference does it make what car I'm in? I don't see my car from outside my car while I'm in it. I'm literally only in this fancy car because it looks nice, because I can't even utilize it for what it's for, because it's made to go 200 miles per hour and the speed limit's 55. So knowing this my whole life, it doesn't really, and then not having any men around that were millionaires that were really ambitious at all. You know what I mean? I had incredibly talented men around me, but unfortunately it was the crack era. It was the baby daddy era, the baby mama era. It is what it is. So, but now it's that time. It's that time to get it going, to take everything from that I learned doing this, trying to master it to a point of excellence. And then you take that and you use that to try to at least leave something behind for, so that's the time I've been on, is, kind of fortifying my mind and trying to become more disciplined and organized. A disciplined man will beat a talented man any day. Discipline actually supersedes almost every other attribute you could have. You could be the evilest, dirtiest, ugliest person in the world. If you have discipline, you will win. It's the simplest concept, yet the hardest one to achieve. Purely. And all of us know exactly what we have to do and what we have to execute to be the most effective, efficient versions of ourselves. And it doesn't come down to any magic routine. It's, eating right, sleeping right, exercising, being positive, being, loving. You just do that every day, everything will be fine, literally. But that is extremely hard. They made it very, like, whoever designed and coded this matrix, this reality, made it so that way every day has its own unique obstacle. It could just be a rainy day. Like, you could be on a streak of beautiful sunny days to where getting up and being positive is easy. And then that first rainy day comes where it's shitty, nothing's happening, it's bad weather, and the power goes out, everything seems like it's going wrong. And at that point, it's you trying to still balance and maintain your discipline and your positive routine through that. And then the point is to try to keep this up every day, regardless of the obstacles that come up. And it's fucking the hardest, because if it was easy, every human would be in shape. Every human would be in perfect shape. Every human would have money. Every human would have a smile on their face. There would be, but guess what? You're born with certain predisposed mental, syndromes, physical syndromes, so you're already starting off at a handicap as soon as you come out the gate. And then by the time you are aware of who you are, you're like 22, and you've already suffered so much trauma that now you have the choice of either going to therapy for the rest of your life or just dealing with it. And then it all comes to a head, man. So if you're struggling and it's hard. Just know it's not just you. It's probably 99% of people, you know, are fucking trying to get it together. Every single day you're trying to get it together, you know. Today was a good day because I went for a walk. I went for a long walk, you know. Yo, Devo the Ambivert, yo, shout out, bro. He does dope reaction videos to my work. He says, Bada, how are you feeling, God? Checking in from Chi-Town. So supreme is fuego. You'll be remembered in the annals as one of the GOATs, as one of the wisest ever. Thank you, brother. Appreciate, man. And yo, man, you're dope, man. Your breakdowns, you know what you're doing. You're a rapper too, bro. And I appreciate you, man. You know, definitely, bro. I'm just trying to stay focused and get you guys something else, man. Get you like I don't create just because I should. You know, I don't create just because I can. You know, I create because I have to at that moment because it's something in me that has to come out. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what happens. I'm only inspired and from within. Like I have to be like, okay, yeah, I want to do that, you know, and then I'll do it, you know, and it's a moment. It's a moment. I got to capture myself in this moment because I'll spend a long time just not being a rapper, you know, just being human, you know. I appreciate it more now, you know, just being able to. When I was a kid or when I was younger, it was like, damn, I just don't want to be I don't want to be a normal person. But now it's like, whoa, be careful what you wish for, man, because the more you complicate things, the more you have to deal with. And you'll notice that it's that, you know, it's that guy that has that simple fisherman's life that has just a simple cabin and he just fishes once a day and he just drinks his coffee. That's guy's got the best fucking life. You know what I mean? It's because it's very, the stress levels are so low and we have so many amazing experiences that it doesn't really allow us to really, appreciate anyone in particular. It's easier when you're a child because they're more impactful. They leave more of an imprint. But as an adult, you have so many of them in this new fucking modern future world that we live in, you know, that we don't really get to, you know, you can have really a few great moments that are worth pondering on for the rest of your life. You know, as a child, you think, damn, like old people they're boring. They don't do anything. They just sit on the porch and watch the sunset. But then you realize like that meditative zone is like you really connecting to the infinite. It's when you calm down and you're like, oh, damn, like I can enjoy this. You know, I actually designed LSD to be my last album. You know, to be honest, it was on the table. That's why I did it at 33. And if you listen to the song 33, he died. Christ died at 33. There's 33 levels of masonry. You have 33 spinal cords. It's like this level of like certain completion. So, and that was 2020. That was the apocalypse, you know. So everything I do now is bonus round. It's bonus round. It's the afterlife. Everything I do now is afterlife. Like LSD was like that was it. That was like I did that album. I could die now. You know, every album has to have that thought process behind it for me. After this album, I die. Is this good enough to be the last thing I said? You know, and LSD absolutely was. Everything I do now is just what else can I do, man? You know, hip hop is not really like as ambitious as it once was. You know, there's more lethal lyricists than ever. I think overall the average rapper is worlds better than it was when I was a kid. I mean, being able to rap was like a special talent at one point. Like if you could rap, people around the block would be like, yo, that guy can rap. You know, now it's like kids are born. It's already uploaded inside of the default settings. It's like at one point you had to download Solitaire and get the disc and upload it. But then after a while, Windows came with Solitaire every time. That's what being able to rap is. It's just like almost like a sub language that humans have developed. So just like a baby, it's easy for them to learn English because they already have the brain synaptic, the connections there from their parents. Rap is there too. You know, it's like right there. Boom. Now that gets activated with every child, and rappers are better now. And so yeah, every week you see another mind blowing freestyle on 995. I remember if Jay-Z went on Funk Flex and dropped a freestyle, it would be just the world would stop. It'd be like, yo, he just dropped a freestyle on the radio. This is the craziest shit ever. Now it's happening every day, you know. And battle rap's gotten to a level of craziness. I don't watch as much as I used to because I've seen it, you know. Magneto Power. What's your go-to song when I'm feeling down? My go-to song when I'm feeling down right now is a gospel song by James Moore. It's called Bread of Heaven. It's bread of heaven, bread of heaven. Come on, feed me till I want no more. It's the best. James Moore, Bread of Heaven. There's a performance of it on YouTube, and if you get through that and watch it, it'll make you cry. It is the most amazing feeling you can have. Reverend James Moore, Bread of Heaven. Listen to that song, and you'll know what I can listen to. If it doesn't matter if I wanted to kill somebody, and I hear that. There's also Kirk Franklin, Brighter Days. There's like I said earlier, Nights Over Egypt. Nights Over Egypt. You listen to that by the Jones Girls, you'll start. It doesn't matter who you are. If there could be a country at war, you play Nights Over Egypt and big speakers over the war, all the soldiers will drop their guns and they will start to move in unison. And the dead will rise and pull their bullets out. You know what I mean? It's like that level. You know, let's see. Freeman Wright Radar. Humanity is on its decline. You help carry on the true hidden Gnostic gospel. You taught the alchemist science through all the rhyming. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. That's how I see it. I see rapping and rhyming as you like by you connecting these sonic patterns. You're making more sense out of things that make sense, and you're doing it in a melodic way. And I mean, as a conduit of thought, rap is one of the most effective we've ever seen on this planet ever. And I'm, thankful that I have people to go. I'm gonna wrap this up in the next few minutes. It's getting a little late. What time is it? Oh yeah, it's 11:43. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up soon, man. Like I said, man, I got my Cash App pinned up here. $ Cameron Carbone. You could donate there or to the super chat. That yes, Travanti Jack. Thank you, and I love that meme. That's it appears like a baby lemon, exuding love and flowers. I appreciate that. It's a wonderful image, man. Is that an NFT? Is that a Bitcoin? Will that gain or will it drop? Let me know the stock. Yeah, man. Let's see. Are you down to be one of the rappers? This Devo the ambivert, who start with a C that battles disaster after he battles cricket disaster, loving battle. No, I would never battle disaster. Never. Absolutely not would I battle disaster. Not only is he extremely lethal, but he's also extremely polished. He's got a lot of experience as a battle rapper. He can freestyle off the top of the head. He's brutal. He goes straight for the jugular. And I have anxiety issues, so it's like that whole choke thing. I'm so like scared that you know, my first few times out I might fucking choke or something, man. But if I wasn't gonna choke and I could be solidly prepared and I could really take some time, like if I had a few months, if I had a few months and I had enough money to say, okay, here's 20 G's, you got 3 months to come up with 3 rounds of the best rhymes ever. I think I could stand with anybody on earth, you know. Just if I know I could, just with the focus, if I really study it. But where it gets to the level of, okay, I'm barking up a tree I'm not ready for, is the performance, the delivery, standing in front of another man that's also defiling you, in front of a whole crowd of fickle, fucking insane people who are rowdy and agitated. And then there's gangsters and thugs all over the place with, you know, it's like, oh man. Like, and then there's this guy poking at me and getting in my face. So it almost doesn't matter how good you are if you can't do that. So it would just take effort for me to make sure that I can deliver my rounds, and not, because even imagine if Cannabis got through all 3 of his rounds. If Cannabis got through in that Disaster Cannabis round, shout out to Cannabis, one of the greatest rappers of all time. If he got through all 3 rounds, there's no killing him. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, Disaster had more personals. He was more bloody. Like, he was saying more, you know, mean stuff. He was like, Disaster was meaner. But if Cannabis got through them 3 rounds, you would have heard things that you never heard before. He says hyperbole that nobody can think of. His ability to just describe. He had that song Santa Has COVID, and he was describing the physical condition Santa was in. He's like, he had, you know, gangrene pustules. You know what I mean? He's talking about things that happen medically that he's just outrageous. So yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's really the performance, man. I just saw the Keith Murray versus Pedro Starr, and Keith Murray was drunk. It's so easy to get drunk at something like that because they don't start until 3 a.m. or something like that. So you're just sitting there. People are offering you drinks. People are offering you blunts. By the time you get on the stage, you're hungry, you're lightheaded, you're high. So you got to be disciplined too. Let's see. Symphony Dench, appreciate the gems. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Pedro Ramos. Oh shit. Super funny how all 3 excrements from Earth in there are mad poison for black folks when we do the science. Excrements from Earth in there. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, bro. But shout out to Pedro Ramos, man. The 3 excrements from Earth, mad poison for black folks. I guess so. Excrements, what's that? That's doodoo, PP. That's doodoo, PP, and barf. It could be mucus. It could be is dandruff an excrement? You know, loose hair, is that an excrement? Loose earwax could be an excrement. Charles Martinez, thank you, brother. Peace, body. You the GOAT. Thank you, man. I'm the GOAT with a sheepskin coat. You know, where I get the hat and the crown, man, the chain, man. Fuck, man. I don't, you know, man. This is from Ancient Aura. Ancient Aura on Instagram did the chain. And this hat is from a brand called Christos on Instagram. I have like 3 hats that I wear. So this is one of the hats that a brand sent me. So if you're a brand watching and you want to send me some clothes and gear, I actually wear it, and I wear it. Like this hat, I wear it. I won't take it off. Like I wear it to go out. Unless I get a haircut, which I get haircuts maybe like 4, 5, 6 times a year, you know. So other than that, I'm throwing on either this. I have a couple more. So if you have any brands out there, send them through, you know. Mark said I'm a sacred clown. I'll take that in the positive way, like somebody who's I guess say whimsical. You could say whimsical. A true shaman that helped me read, discover my wondrous and curious nature, and turning gratefully, brother. I appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, no, man. I like to see the crazy funny stuff, man. Like, oh, that's what the humans are doing now. Like, you watch parkour, you watch what's going on in that. Watch what's going on in street gymnastics. Watch what's going on, like I said, in mountain climbing or just climbing in general, arm wrestling. Watch what's going on in skateboarding. They just put skateboarding in Olympics, I think. And you'll just see the limits that humans can get to when they apply pure focus. You know, I was watching something called dead diving. And dead diving is when you're running from like 50 feet in the sky and you do the worst dive ever to where you like a belly. It's basically the exaggerated form of the belly flop. It's like you go up there, you act like you just got shot, you flip around like 5 times, and you land like on the side of your head. And then they score you like that. And it's just like, oh my goodness, people that are good at that. Julio, yo, what's good, bro? Yes, we definitely have to link. Julio Santos, bro. Homie, bro. When I was in New York, he will always hold me down with Bud. He connected me on Sid. He was actually there on one of my first LSD release parties. Awesome, bro. I guess Jay Electronica is gonna be in New York at the Sony. Oh, word! I didn't know that, man. I gotta definitely link with him. That's somebody I want to collab with too. Jay Electronica, definitely. I mean, I heard Exhibit C and Exhibit A and lost my mind. That's all I ever needed from them. Exhibit A and Exhibit C. We could just call it a day after that. Like, that's just, I got it after that. Like, oh, okay. I'm gonna answer like 2 more questions. People keep asking about semen retention. Yeah, I mean, I would say creativity is a holistic energy. It's either expressed through art or through sex. You know, so if you're somebody that's constantly expelling yourself and you're constantly jerking off and you're constantly, having just frivolous sex all the time, not only are you expending a lot of physical energy, but obviously sperm, that orgasm is your body actually, you're tricking your body into thinking that you're about to have a baby. So you're activating some real powerful stuff. So if you're able to hold that, what I mean, essentially you're not wasting bullets. Those that just take all, you can even take all of the esotericness out of it. Just the energy that it takes to do it. If in the time, if you would have spent that time meditating or creating something physical that isn't a child, then yeah, you could. But is that to say that I'm sure Rick James was busting off 90 nuts a day? R. Kelly R. Kelly did not believe in semen retention. So maybe for him, like, it was literally the energy of sex and not retent. No, like maybe semen retention, stops you from being able to create. You know what I mean? Like maybe like you're telling your body you don't want to create, and you're telling your body that you just want to. You're good. You're solid. You don't need any art. You don't need any babies. You're good, because honestly, the most sexually perversive people on earth are just all happen to be the greatest artists. He too. Look at Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. No semen retention. I mean, nuts just spouting. you know, basically 100% faucet theory. We're talking about 100% expulsion, ejaculation on a daily basis. So, and they're the best creators ever, you know what I mean? Even somebody like Stevie Wonder. Imagine those jack attacks. Like, not, you know, pause, no disrespect, but if you're blind and you're masturbating, you would essentially be elucidating the feeling, or like maybe like what would be the visual aspect of a blind person yakking it off? It would be the feeling. It'd be the sound. That's what it would be. It'd be the sound, the moaning, the slapping, the thudding, the rambling, the shaking, the twiddling, all of these things. Red Pill was doing the No Nut November. That's Chris Kringle. Yeah, shout to him. Michael Jackson retained, I thought. I mean, I don't know. There's a couple documentaries that I don't know, man. He didn't have much respect for his body. Michael Jackson, it wasn't like he treated his body like a temple of, he was willing to chop and slice and lop whatever he could. We're talking about health was not something that he when and I don't mean to laugh, like, yo, like, I love Michael Jackson's music, like literally my childhood. I don't mean to laugh. I have a bad habit of laughing in dark moments. But like, when you don't value your life and you don't love yourself, an aspect of suicide would be self-mutilation, or you just doing things because you don't really actually care about yourself. Maybe he felt like he was just being used all his life, and he was just kind of like a vessel of entertainment for the world. And, you know, so obviously his sexuality is going to be a bit scrambled, you know, but was he retaining it? I've heard that he was chemically castrated in order to keep his boyish looks and his high voice. Like, how selfish, right? And he was, so that's why he had certain physical, after a while, like, he was not the same Michael Jackson anymore. You know what I mean? Like, by the time he was really like, he was moving, but it was real herky jerky. It was like, it wasn't the smooth Michael Jackson, you know. And yeah, man. But yeah, most of the best artists that are worthy and capable of the greatest creations of all times, a lot of them were extremely sexually perversive. It's to the point where if somebody was like, God, I wish you would just take off all the pedophiles and sexually perverse people off the earth, we would probably lose 60 to 70% of the greatest artists of all time, man. Not me, of course, but sadly, yeah, we'd see a big loss, you know what I mean, in music if you would say, yo, let's just get rid of everyone who's ever done. If you had some kind of way to like omnisciently see everybody who's done something wrong, kind of like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. He could just touch you and see all your sins. And if you could do that to everyone in music in Hollywood ever, how many of them would you have to get rid of? And imagine if you just had to delete their catalog of music from music forever. It would be like, damn, you'd be taking it. Maybe it's like you're literally dancing with the devil that gives you the ability to do stuff like that, you know? Yeah. Sexually. So to defend myself, and I have a song, Michael Jackson, to where I did talk about asexual, inside retracted, suppressed libido, shifts every time. I was talking about the suppressed. So I'm talking about the hyperbolic Michael Jackson. This is my Michael Jackson. This is me if this is superhero Michael Jackson. That's why I decided to paint his picture of him at his highest potential. This is him. He didn't dye his skin out of self-hate. He dyed his skin to prove that he can be both black and white, to show that it doesn't matter what my skin looks like. He only got rid of his nose so he could then, hit the tones of a sweet hummingbird. Hey, this isn't body mutilation. This is me customizing thyself. My ability to move, my asexualness, because that's what they sold it as. Like, Michael Jackson's this virgin. He's Christ. He's like, the untouched one. He doesn't like women or men. He has girlfriends, but it's just for the papers. Really, he goes home and plays with his Peter Pan dolls, and he plays with bubbles, so on and so forth. So that's kind of what when I did the Michael Jackson song, I was giving you like the best case scenario Michael Jackson out of his name. Like, this is Michael Jackson, Nose carved by the finest craftsman. There you go. Lemon versus melon. There you go. That's a pollen. What's that? It's a scramble of the same word. Melons are just really big, sweet lemons. Essentially, it's all just fruit. You just describe the color and the shape. Yes, we're gonna get it going. Yes. Again, thank you for everybody in the shoot. Damn, we're gonna fucking. As you can see, my mind is going. I'm about to leave in a second. I just want to leave off with, I thank everybody for their support, love everybody. New music coming. Like I said, September 17th is the tentative date for me and Brother Rich. Also, September 30th, Soul Massage dropping his project. I just dropped a single on Rhyme Sayers. You can go check it out, Soul Supreme. I got the Cambatta Crux album coming out by the end of the year. Newest song, Burning Monk, is still on the YouTube. You can see that. Lots of features with a lot of amazing artists. If you're interested in the feature, just DM me or hit me up at teamcambatta@gmail.com. I'll be actually working on features this weekend, so hit me ASAP. My Cash App is $ Cameron Carbone is pinned. Thank you for all the donations, all the super chats, and thank you, man. Man. New stuff coming. I'm not quitting. I haven't quit. I tease it. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to rap anymore, but it's impossible. New stuff coming. I haven't fell off. I'm not even at my peak yet. I would say I'm in my prime, but I'm not at my peak yet. I still have some unturned stones. You're still going to hear concepts you never heard in ways you've never heard them. So subscribe, like, everything else. $ Cameron Carbone. Thank you. And as I'm ending the stream, thank you. Anybody I missed your questions, send them to the DM, and I'll try to get to you personally. Thank you. Thank you.